Hello everyone. I am talking about Gluebook fodder, things that you can glue into glue books that you may not have thought about. And this video is all about ephemera. Ephemera is just a word that means, when I looked it up, it said the definition was lasting for a very short time. So I think of ephemera as something that you use and becomes useless, basically, like a ticket. A ticket is a really good example of ephemera. A ticket, a general admission kind of ticket, it's good just until you get into whatever you're trying to get into. And then that ticket is pretty much useless. They're interesting, though. Tickets are my all-time favorite. I like the looks of numbers in anything that I make. I just love the looks of numbers. And tickets usually have dates and all kinds of numbers on them. But usually, people use a ticket to get into whatever they're trying to get into, and then it's garbage. They throw it away. So that is ephemera. It has a short purpose. It doesn't last for very long. But a lot of people like to keep ephemera for memory purposes in scrapbooks or whatever. They like to keep little mementos for events or things that they've done by keeping things like tickets or whatever comes with that event. So there are all kinds of different types of tickets. I keep everything, valet tickets and tickets that you get at the grocery store for the meat counter, parking tickets or dry cleaning tickets, things that I find on the ground. I used to pick up things all the time. Anything that has a number on it is fair game for me. I really like the looks of tickets in glue books. And so I just collect all kinds of things. These are lottery tickets, and they're interesting. They've got numbers and colors and all kinds of fun things. So I will keep those too. Not that I do them, but my friends give me things that they don't need. Instead of throwing them away, they know that I like them, so they give them to me, or I find them on the ground or whatever. But anything that's got a number on it, I keep. All that stuff is really good to use in glue books. And talking about the lottery, these tickets are great. They got different colors. They're light colors. There's text that's cool. I can use either side of that. And when you've got the little strip that you choose your numbers, I like those too. I tear them up into little bits and use them to glue in as well because I like the looks of them. So tickets are my absolute favorite. I collect all kinds of tickets. If it's got a number on it, I keep it. And I put it in here. I need to go through there and pick out some stuff and use it this month for my glue books. I've got a ton of things to choose from. So that's tickets. Tickets is my favorite. Anyway, another one is calendars. Since we are in a brand new year, we've got last year's calendar. It's ephemera. It's pretty much garbage at this point. But we picked our calendars for the pictures, and you've got the big pictures that you can cut into or tear into little bits. You got the little pictures, all those little bits to use. Instead of throwing them away, use them for your glue books. I like desk calendars. The little pages have usually little images on them, and you can rip those up into little bits and use those. This one was a color book, and I actually added some color pencil to that one. So desk calendars are really good too for the images. And all I do is rip up the little bits that I want and glue those into my glue books. So calendars are really good for ephemera using in your glue books. Postage stamps, I've talked about postage stamps before. Again, it's ephemera. It as soon as the whatever you're mailing is mailed and it's canceled, those stamps are no longer good anymore. But they're really cool and they really work well for glue books. This one, I just have a whole stack of different things just to get you some ideas on where to start looking, because you can find glue book fodder everywhere. You just have to train yourself to look out for different kinds of things. Here, this is a tea bag, jasmine tea. It's got a tea bag in it that I haven't used, but the wrapper there will be good for something. And when I probably won't use this tea bag, but you can use the tea bag for stuff as well. This is a money wrapper. It's got numbers on it. I'm going to keep it. It's great to put in glue books, especially a serendipity book when you're looking for different types of things. Here's a cigar band. It's good, to let you know what kind of cigar you've got. But when you've smoked the cigar, this is pretty much garbage. But they're cool. Key card. You get a key made. It usually comes on a little piece of paper. This would be good. I like to tear mine apart so that I've got a thinner piece to glue, but it's got some interesting little bits on it. A bingo card. Here are a couple of little cards. I was at the bookstore here not too long ago, and found a bunch of these cards on the floor. They fall out of the magazines. And they've got some cool little images on them that can be used. You can glue that down. This one too has got a little cheesecake, I think it is. It might be a berry tart. It's just a little image that can be used. Coffee cup holder. Little coffee cups on there. Got a lot of texture. It will be fun to use. This, I'm not sure what store that comes from, but it is wax paper. It's a bag that, it's something comes in the bag. It's got words on it. It's good to glue. It's easy to glue. Here's some paper cups that I have torn apart. They are waxed on one side, so I like to tear off the wax part of them. Separate the layers and get that waxy thing off. It comes off with patience. And then you've got a fun little image to use. This one had a bunch of different ones. And then, this one it got the wax part off, and I kind of fussy cut a little bit around the image, and so I've got a piece to glue into a glue book. Here are chopstick wrappers. I open them up and flatten them out, and then they are good to glue in. Try not to rip it. Oh, this one's got two sides. I have to do both of them. But anyway, you flatten it out, and you've got fun stuff to glue into your glue book. Puzzle books, word search or Sudoku, all those puzzles. Once you've done your puzzle, it's pretty much useless after you've written all over the puzzle. I like to tear them up. Sometimes I do the puzzles that I've finished, and sometimes I just rip up puzzles that aren't finished because I like the looks of them. And then, of course, after I'm done with the book, all the where you find the when you can't find, what is that called? You know what I'm talking about. The anyway, these I cut these up too, or tear these up and use those into glue books as well, because I like the looks of them. Canceled checks, they're pretty much useless. This one's a vintage one, so it's really fancy, but vintage checks are really kind of cool. Here's instructions from IKEA. They're in all different languages. And here is instructions to put together something. I don't even remember what. And it's useless after you've put together the piece of furniture or whatever it is. They're useless, but they're kind of cool in glue books. So I will use those little bits. Receipts, all kinds of receipts with numbers and stuff. Here's embroidery floss, the little band that goes around the embroidery floss. Instead of throwing it away, I keep that stuff. And that was one of those packs inside something to keep the moisture off. I liked the looks of it, so I decided to keep that. Here's yellow pages. Not very many people get yellow pages anymore, but after you get a new thing of the yellow pages, the old one is pretty much useless, so I always keep mine, and I've got a couple of them to tear up and to use, but yellow pages are really cool in the backgrounds of glue books. Here is a menu that obviously I've used a little bit of. This one has the characters on it, so I really like that. There was, I think, a panda on this one. I'm not quite sure, but there was something here that I used. So that's also ephemera. Newspaper, you could consider that ephemera. You read it, and once you've read it, it's pretty much useless. The comics are fun for different color. Different little images are interesting. I find in the entertainment section, I find color images in my newspaper. I have different languages of newspaper, but I do like using newspaper. This one is a map. I was traveling and needed a map of the city, and so I used it while I was there, and then when I finished with my travels, it's pretty much useless. I can't use that again, but I can rip it up into little bits, and it's fun for the bits for a glue book. So all kinds of things. Calendars and tickets are really good. Newspapers, maps, menus, receipts, instructions, puzzles. I mean, all kinds of things that are used once and then thrown away, never to be used again. But all kinds of stuff can be used just to glue little bits into your glue book. There's everything, all kinds of things. If you just look around, you will notice. I look at everything. If it's paper, I really take a look at it and decide if it's an interesting color, if it's got some interesting text on it, some numbers on it or something. I will keep it. I put everything in a box, and then I go through, while I'm watching TV and kind of really look at it and rip it up and see if it's actually usable. I don't stop what I'm doing when I find something and look at it. Then I usually collect it all and then look at it together later to see if it's usable. But I collect it first and then figure it out. Can I use this? Will it be interesting? Is it a cool color or whatever? And then I have a bunch of unique and different kinds of things that you wouldn't have normally. So I like the looks of things when they're different colors, they're different types of paper, and they have a different look about them. So it makes things very interesting. So I hope that helps. Keep your eyes out. Keep looking for different types of things. If it's paper, it's fair game. Any kind of paper you can glue into your glue book. Good luck finding stuff. Thanks for watching.